Well, it just goes from bad to worse. Marvel Studios, a long-time executive, in fact, one of the first people who created this company, essentially, has now left. Victoria Alonso. She's gone. She was part of this from the very beginning. She's left from a huge position at Marvel Studios. This is really big. We don't have any official word on why. She's left. There's no reason. But you don't tend to leave these positions without reason. So this is quite a shocker. Genuinely quite a shocker. So Marvel Studios veteran Victoria Alonso has left. This is an exclusive to The Hollywood Reporter. Victoria, honestly, if you don't know who she is, I genuinely don't know how I can stress how shocking this is to you guys, that she's left. We've been saying for a really long time, Marvel's got problems. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It's kind of all going over the place. But this is, again, solidifying one of those things. So Alonso had been with the company since the earliest days of the MCU, establishing a 17 years. Very lucrative. Very, very lucrative. She watched the studio grow from operating above a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Beverly Hills to being acquired by Disney. And then during her tenure, obviously the MCU became the highest grossing franchise in film history. So we know that. Sure, we'll give it that. Alonso joined the studio in 2006 as Chief of Visual Effects and Post-Production and helped launch the MCU as co-producer on 2008's Iron Man. She also served as co-producer on Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America. Alonso was then up to executive producer on The Avengers. She was a huge part of everything. She has said some dumb, controversial things, just as an FYI, really, really dumb, controversial things. She was one of the people who said how we need to change the X-Men name. We should change that because actually it's outdated due to how many female superheroes are a part of the team. Ugh, idiot. But still, pretty big. Alonso served as executive producer on Marvel's subsequent releases and also worked on its Disney Plus TV series in 2021. She was then promoted to president, physical, post-production, visual effects, and animation production. Last year, she also produced the Oscar-nominated international feature Argentina, 1985. Huge, guys, huge. And as the Hollywood Reporter aptly notes, her departure comes in the shadow of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is a massive bomb. A huge box office bomb. It's not a poor showing, as they sort of downplay. It's a huge bomb. Now, in addition to her behind-the-scenes work, Alonso has been an important ambassador for the studio's representation efforts and was outspoken during Disney's dispute with Florida over its Don't Say Gay bill, which has absolutely wrecked Disney at this point as well, just as an FYI, because they're screwed. Because Disney, Florida man's like, those special rights that we've given, yeah, we're going to take them back. Because actually, they're a privilege and you don't need them. And she also said, as long as I'm at Marvel Studios, I will fight for representation. So, maybe this is a good thing. This is still huge, though. Because, we don't know why she's left. But what has led to the downplay and the significant decrease in box office receipts? Well, a significant portion of the message coming through. And it's a huge the message that's been pushed on everyone. And if she's a huge proponent of that, and now she's left, this could signify a turning point. But, that's kind of wishful thinking because she was around since its very inception. Unless she just randomly had a huge, change of heart and wanted to force it in everyone's faces all the time. I don't know whether she was that influential in it. Or maybe she was just so influential that it eventually happened. Who knows? But yeah, huge. So there's no official statement. Absolutely no clarification. but Alonso's departure from Marvel Studios is bound to obviously have everyone talking. There'll be loads of videos about this. Given that the studio has had well-publicised issues with VFX teams and animation arm, and this is the thing, right? She was the head of animation and VFX, and we now know that, you know, there's outspoken VFX teams going, you know, Marvel are shit to work with. They are terrible to work with. Really, really bad to work with for VFX. And she was that. She was the head of VFX. So, it's, yeah. Maybe it's to do with that. I mean, if she was promoted to literally president, post-production of visual effects and animation, and now all of a sudden, you know, we're getting... Bearing in mind, just as an FYI, the VFX for Marvel have been bad for a while. Like, genuinely a while. But they're significantly worse now, and people are noticing more and more. And if she's the president of that, and there's outspoken VFX departments going, yeah, they're really bad to work with, maybe it's to do with that as well. Maybe it's to do with the representation. Maybe it's to do with the bad VFX. Honestly, this is super, super shocking. Big, big, big news. Massive news. Massive news. Now, obviously, there's conflicting reports about the entire slate of projects. And this is the other thing, right? I've just done a video on Bob Iger nuking... Bob Iger and Disney nuking the Disney Plus shows. But if she's a producer on them and now she's left, maybe that's why they were pushed to coming soon. Because they've got to, I guess, work out some kind of, I don't know, severance package with her. Alonso's been a big part of the MCU. But specifically, inclusivity efforts. Because she's gay. Because you would need to be in everything nowadays, I guess. But yeah, shocking. Genuinely shocking. This is a big thing. And again, this is after a huge blow with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Florida ripping Disney apart. And also everything else happening with Bob Iger looking to downsize and save somewhere in the region of like $4 billion. Massive stuff, ladies and gents. I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories down below. But the MCU is in shambles. Hit subscribe. Take care.